All right, we're not gonna do a fancy intro. We're not gonna do anything of the like. We're just gonna go straight into it. Let's go. First question: big titty or big basin? Basin, you son of a bitch. I'm not gonna go through this question again. God damn it! Please, for the love of God, nobody else do this. I'm letting this slide, but I'm not gonna give the same explanation as the last time. I'm an ass man. We'll leave it at that. Leave me alone. Stop asking me this question. We've talked about the best waifus, but what about the best husbandos of gaming? Got any favorites? Well, actually, that's a really good question. I never actually thought about it like that. Actually, that's a really good question. All right, so let's start it from top to bottom. These are my 5 favorites. So we're starting off with number 1, Ezio Auditore da Firenze from Assassin's Creed, otherwise known as just Ezio Auditore. He's just a character that just stands out to me. He's very iconic. I played the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, and I really appreciated the character. Number 2 has to be the Big Daddy from BioShock 2, and specifically the second one, because I am a massive sucker for protecting the little sisters. Every time I see a little sister anywhere on the map, my fraternal instincts just kick in. I protect and I attack. No one is touching the little sisters. That is my child. Leave them alone. I will protect them with my life. And I actually got super emotional playing that game. So yeah, Big Daddy's number 2. Coming in at number 3, we have Dante from Devil May Cry. There's just no explanation needed. It's Dante. Big wacky wahoo pizza time guy. At number 4, we have Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. I just think he's just a great dad. Like, he does everything to protect his child. And I like the dynamic that he has where he's such a big macho man. But he's just super chill. He's just super awesome. Number 5, the best father of gaming history, I'd say Bowser. Surprisingly, Bowser is the best father of all time. I mean, look at all the Nintendo commercials and all the other stuff with Bowser and Bowser Jr. Like, he's just a very good father. He's just amazing. So yeah, those are my top 5. If you were to get Soul Calibur 6, would you do a fan stream? As to the first part, I unfortunately am not really interested in Soul Calibur, let alone Soul Calibur 6. I do think it's fun watching people play it, I just don't think it's a fun game to play, in my opinion. But to each their own. Though I may not like the game personally, I think the one thing that really makes it stand out to me in my mind and in my heart is the guest characters. The guest characters are always just interesting to me. You had Spawn, you had Link, you had Kratos, you had Yoda, you had Darth Vader, you had the Apprentice, you had Ezio, there's Devil Jin, and then you had Harada. Fucking Harada, dude. But in terms of fan streams, I'm more than welcome to do that. I plan to do that in the future, but I just don't know when. Hopefully I have better internet and I can play on a wired connection before I ever do that stuff. And hopefully by that time I have my own recording space, because right now I just use my room. How old are you? You know, I was gonna ignore this question because I just couldn't be asked to answer the question, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't really care. I recently turned 21 years old. Like, now I can drink, but I just don't give a shit about alcohol enough to really want to. So yeah, there's always that. Have you ever considered playing any platform fighters? If so, try Rivals of Aether. It's getting rollback netcode, so it might be a good time to try it out. Actually, I really did find Rivals of Aether interesting, so I may just give it a try. And if I remember correctly, it's free to play? I don't want to be too sure about that, but I think it might be. I will take your suggestion into consideration. But in terms of platform fighters, I may just try that. I don't know for sure. I've never considered playing any platform fighters at all, but you never know. What is your favorite character archetype in fighting games? That one varies. That one can vary between games because there are so many. There's like 15 archetypes, I believe, but I rarely ever pick up more than maybe 3, and I don't necessarily have a set favorite. Judging by my recent picks and the characters I've mained, Skullgirls, I play primarily Rushdown with Philia and Valentine. BB Tag, I play Hakumen, Waldstein, and Susano, so I play Rushdown, Reversal, and on occasion play mix-ups. And in fighters, I play Piccolo and 18, so I play mix-up characters. So I think based on that assessment, I think the top 3 archetypes I play are Reversal, mix-ups, and Rushdown characters. But like I said, it varies. Sometimes I play zoners, sometimes I play grapplers, sometimes I play big bodies, and there'll be times where I'll try out a Shoto. Overall, it's what I connect with as a character. If I like the character and I like how he or she plays, I will play them. It doesn't matter. But There are 3 characters you will never really see me play, and that is puppet characters, stance characters, and charge characters. They are way too difficult for me to play. When are you gonna use the baby music? Have you ever considered Let's Plays? My guy, my channel was kind of built on Let's Plays the first couple of videos. And on top of that, I've got Let's Play playlists. So yeah, I have considered it and I am going to do so, especially with games that I like. Do you have any favorite memes or internet trends? Really love your content, by the way. Thanks for making me smile. You know, before I answer this question, I just gotta say, it really does warm my heart that you guys like my content, especially to the person that commented. That's one of my favorite things as a content creator, knowing that I made someone's day and I make someone smile. It's really heartwarming. I don't expect to receive them, but when I do get them, it actually is one of the greatest feelings. Though I don't get a lot of views, somewhere on YouTube, someone is looking at my content and they're enjoying themselves. They think that my content is great. So again, thank you. Now back to the question at hand. I actually do have some memes, I believe, that are here. This one is one of my favorites of all time. Just then there's this video.
Shooter man, yeah, that's me. Wasn't that bad? Bombs. Guess I gotta throw one like Fortnite. Fortnite? You throw one of those, it's gonna be good night. What?
This one is by far my favorite.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun. His up special fires a gun. His side special invokes AHA with a mere finger gun and a manifestation of his persona.
Gun. And then there's the best one of all time. If you ever get the chance, just check out Munchie. He's an OG and he's one of the reasons why we have EXE videos. Any plans for the summer? Probably working on videos. I mean, that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing anyway. I don't see myself going outside because of the pandemic. Thoughts on Guilty Gear Strive? Yeah, I'm really excited for Strive. I really want to give it a go, especially because I haven't really played a Guilty Gear seriously ever, but this might be my first one ever. And in preparation, I bought this control just for the sake of doing combos a little bit more consistently. And on top of that, it's just dopamine inducing, so you never know. But there are some critiques that I do have of the game, and I did point them out in KaizanBlu's video. I'll leave the comment right on the screen just for you to look at. You can pause it if you want to look at the whole thing, but I'll summarize for you what I meant. There are 3 concerns that I have. The main one being is the fact that the damage is just so obnoxiously high. Simplifying a game isn't the worst thing in the world, but when you simplify it to the point where every character just does high damage off of just pokes and stray hits, it definitely is a massive turnoff as a fighting game player. That makes characters like Ramlethal just unbelievably good. And on top of that, it also makes playing characters with low health just seem less viable because they just takes less time to kill them as opposed to a regular character. Like Melia and Chip would have the hardest time given how easily they can die, given their low health. The second concern I have is the anti-air situation. I know they're fixing that, they're giving everybody a universal anti-air, but I feel like the fact that you can block anti-airs is kind of concerning. I mean, overall, anti-airs should be unblockable to an extent. And the third concern I have is regarding command grabs. 1, command grabs do way too much fucking damage, as well as regular throws. Have you seen the damage on a wild throw for Soul? Yeah, it should not be doing that much fucking damage. Even with Guts, it almost seems like it's non-existent. But going on to the main problem at hand, this is the second part, and it's the most annoying thing to see as a player. I know you guys don't like Potemkin's command grab game. I know people don't really like playing against grapplers. It's fucking anxiety inducing. But one thing is for sure. Did you really have to make Potemkin's air command grab blockable? That to me is the dumbest decision ever. Why would you make a command grab, a move designed to punish reckless decisions? Why would you make it blockable? It makes no sense to me. And that's just only with one command grab. Who's to say they won't do it to Potemkin Buster? And don't even get me started on other games. If they're doing this with Arc System games, Who's to say Capcom won't do this? Who's to say that Bandai won't do this with Tekken? Just think about it. Think of a world where grapplers have blockable command grabs. That is hell on earth for grappler players, because then there's no viability whatsoever, because combos aren't the main part of the gameplay. It's the command grabs, punishing reckless decisions. And I play a grappler character in BB Tag, so I understand this. I've played Waldstein as my main, and I play Kanji on occasion. So imagine this, and I'm gonna record separate clips so you guys understand where I'm coming from. What happens when things like this are blockable? Or this is blockable? What happens if 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 this is blockable? If this is blockable? Or 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 if this was 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 blockable? And that's just for BB Tag. Imagine characters like Broly. He would not be top tier. He would not be anywhere near crazy as he is right now. Look at anybody with a command grab. You'd think anybody would want to do a command grab ever? I'm very concerned that this is the direction that fighting game companies, not just ArcSys, but most fighting game companies will take. It's an extreme, yes. It's very unlikely, but the possibility isn't zero. I just don't want that to happen. As someone who played a grappler quite extensively during BB Tag, I don't want to see a grappler lose his tools or the viability of his tools just because they want to simplify a game. Don't simplify it to the point where it needs to be dead in the water, no execution is needed, and you can just play brain dead for all I care. No, that is not how you do things. The whole point of a fighting game, in a sense, even though I hate it sometimes, you know, discipline is needed. If you just cater too much to this sort of crowd, no one's gonna want to play it, even newcomers. That's why jumping needs to be managed, because they're nerfing jumping now. But I'd say fuck nerfing jumping. Buff anti-airs, give anti-airs, give people viability to jump, but give people another option when it comes to people who jump too much. Hence why command grabs are a thing, hence why DPs are a thing, hence why air throws are a thing. Just make it so that it's punishable. Don't just fucking remove a command grab, because then that just gives more options to those who want to jump more frequently. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and follow my socials. And if you feel like you want to support me a little bit more deeply, you can always join the Patreon. It really does help me to be able to purchase equipment that I may need in the future, and it also helps me financially. And with that being said, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah.